So the first thing you need to consider, the number one thing you need to start with, is the overarching idea. What will your message be? So you just don't launch into telling a story. You've actually got to think, what is my idea about discovery? And how does this idea impact on my character or characters in my piece of writing? So first up, you're going to think overarching conceptually about discovery. The next thing that makes a huge difference is the setting. Most students they skate over it. They don't get in and do the details, the minutiae of life. They actually just think, I'll just describe, for example, the setting. It's a really sunny day. I always hear about the sun and the clouds and the sky. And I don't hear about anything else. Or maybe they'll talk about the trees and the flowers. But there's more to setting than that. It's the actual beautiful details. Here's an easy way to do it. I want you to imagine you're looking through the lens of a camera. It's called verbal cinema. You're looking through that lens and you do an extreme close-up on an object, or a person's hands playing a piano. Or it could be an extreme close-up on a fob watch or a photograph, and describe what you see. So this could even be your opening paragraph. You describe it. Draw the lens of your writing camera back. Do a medium shot. Medium shots are used in films to tell a story. So pull it back. Have a look and start then describing maybe the person in that scene now. In film, we talk about mise en scene, what is placed in the frame. Think about what is in your frame, in your writing. So for example, if you're in a room, don't just say it has blue walls and has a bed in the corner. Is there something in that room that is uniquely that person you're describing? Maybe on the wall there's a photograph of them surfing. Maybe there's a little surfing trophy to the side. Maybe there's a bit of wax off to the side on top of their bookshelf. Start to really create character through using verbal cinema. Then you could actually do a jump cut. You could actually now cut to another scene. You go from the room and they're out the back on a great big wave and they're surfing. So you do that movement in and out just as a filmmaker would. Michael Ondaatje is my favourite writer, and he uses verbal cinema so beautifully, as does Gail Jones, the Australian writer. Once you use it, you'll find writing so easy. The next word sounds like this really big word, and you're going to think, what on earth is she talking about? It's called synesthesia. Synesthesia will transform your writing. It's when you combine the senses. So for example, if you're talking about, you're walking through a marketplace and you've got everyone, selling their wares, and you've got the food around you, you're going to describe the colours, so what you see, the visceral. You're going to describe the auditory, the sounds, and you're going to describe the smell, which is the olfactory. So in fact, you're going to combine them all. It could even be in a single sentence. And that way you're really immersing your reader in your writing. Imagery is vital. Imagery is painting a picture for your reader, so that you can actually understand what in fact you're trying to convey about discovery. And authentic references. Don't say the boy or the girl, give them a name. If it's going to be set in Newcastle or Dubbo or Sydney, then name places. If you're going to be in Korea, for example, talk about the Han River. If you're going to be in the back streets of Sydney near the Rocks area, actually name the places. This will in fact give your story that sense of authenticity. And lastly, pathetic fallacy is where nature reflects the way the character feels. Don't overdo it. Don't have storm clouds and thunder and lightning. That's what everyone does. But you might just simply change the way the clouds move across. As simple as that. You might talk about the shadows that are cast across the character's face. So you're actually using film again, and you're talking about chiaroscuro lighting or tenebrism, shadows and light on a face. So if I just give you a little example of this, I'm going to just read to you Let the Great World Spin, Colin McCann, just a short excerpt. Listen what he does with the language. We're in the Bronx, in New York. Around the watches, the city still made its everyday noises, car horns, garbage trucks, ferry whistles, the thrum of the subway. The M22 bus pulled in against the sidewalk, braked, sighed down into a pothole. A flying chocolate wrapper touched against a fire hydrant. Taxi doors slammed, bits of trash sparred in the darkest reaches of the alleyways. The leather of briefcases rubbed against trouser legs. A few umbrella tips clinked against the pavement. revolving doors push quarters of conversation out into the street. This is the most stunning, beautiful piece of writing. You've got truncated or incomplete sentences, you've got onomatopoeia with a sound that you're hearing, and you've got incredible imagery.